In this final chapter, I will show you a few examples of theoretical and existing crop rotation schedules. First, I will go over two schedules that I designed myself. Then I will discuss one of the most common rotations in the Netherlands for conventional farmers. And finally, I will discuss a crop rotation that is often found on the internet. Here you can see a crop rotation that I designed for the Netherlands. Onions and carrots in one bed, and the next year I will grow kale, after that spinach, potato, corn, zucchini, and after that onion and carrots again. If you check, you will not find zucchini on the diagram. To solve this, I used cucumber as the most similar crop, as this plant belongs to the same family as zucchini. So what are the weak spots in this rotation? Potato after spinach will give some nematode problems, though not very severe, but the weakest point is the nematode problem with onions and carrots after zucchinis. Because this problem is only orange on the diagram, I can choose to ignore it and I will still use the schedule, or I can try to find a combination that will work without these problems. Of course, it may mean that I will have to remove one or a few of the crops from my crop rotation. In the next rotation, I want to grow more lettuce. As lettuce can be grown every 3 years, I decided to grow it in 2 beds. After lettuce, I will grow corn, kale, lettuce again, leek and finally faba beans. As far as I can see, this rotation should have a minimum of soil-related problems. Now this is a very common crop rotation in the Netherlands. First potatoes, then onions, and finally winter wheat, meant to stimulate the yield of potatoes. As you can see on the diagram, this is a rotation that doesn't work very well. Wheat before potato works quite well, and so does wheat after onions. However, the combination of onions after potatoes gives nematode problems. Furthermore, the schedule is far from 1 in 6. Because of this, the schedule will only work using pesticides and will only be used by conventional farmers. Lastly is a comparison with some of the crop rotation schedules you will find on the internet. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. One idea that I encounter quite often is a crop rotation of 1 in 4, with first legumes, then roots, then fruits, and then leaf vegetables. The legumes are of course legumes such as beans and peas. The root crops are crops such as onions, radishes, carrots. The fruits are crops that bear fruit such as cucumber and tomatoes. And the leaves are crops like cabbage, herbs and lettuce. Though this crop rotation schedule is very simple and in that way very elegant, there are a few immediate problems with it. First off, it is only 1 in 4, which is not much for an organic garden. However, both cabbages, turnips and radishes belong to the same family, which would make the crop rotation effectively 1 in 2. Much too narrow, even when you have the ability to control pests and diseases by using pesticides. Not only that, most herbs also belong to different families. Some, for instance, to the Asteraceae, and some chives, for instance, belong to the leek family, which would mean that this too is a crop rotation of 1 in 2. By now you should be able to make a decent crop rotation yourself. As you have seen, there are many factors that influence the rotation, and I would advise you to spend a sufficient amount of time on making something that you can be proud of. At the same time, please realize that making a crop rotation schedule is something that's quite difficult, and often you will have to make some concessions to make the crop rotation work.